welcome to my channel. Today we're doing 3 looks with the Adept Seahorse palette. This is what it looks like. It's a all shimmer palette in mostly multichrome, but also one just regular metallic, and it's really pretty. And I can't wait to show you all kinds of different looks. Because it's an all shimmer palette, I will do one all shimmer look, but I will also show you how you compare it with other palettes. So I'm going to use my Holy Fairy Tale palette from Kimchi Chic Beauty, because I'm really into pastels at the moment. But then I'll also include Michaela X Glamlight Part 2, because I love these tones. And there are some pastels in here, but also some shades that I can use to deepen things up. So that's what we're starting with today. I think this is going to be a multiple day project. That's fine. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you like indie makeup, pretty shimmers, makeup in general, what I'm saying. And let's get started. I'm going to use a little bit of the Glamlight eyeshadow base. So, by the way, if I didn't mention, in this video I'll show you the 3 looks. I'll also insert some swatches right here, and I'll tell you in the end whether I think this palette is worth it or not. But since there are already so many reviews, I don't think that's going to be the most important part of the video. It's mainly just for inspiration. I'm wearing, you can't see it, but there's some pink in my shirt, and I'm also wearing a pink scrunchie. So I really want to do some pink. I kind of want to build my look around this one, Soft Coral. This is so pretty. Look at that. It has a pink base, but then it also has some orange and some lime and some yellow. Ah, this is stunning. Yeah, I'm going to make that the center stage. I'm going to make that take center stage. So I desperately need to clean my brushes, but I found one that's sort of stained purple, so I think I can use that for pinks. So I'm going into my Holy Fairy Tale palette, and I'm going to take this shade over here. And you know, these looks aren't going to be too difficult, I don't think, because these shades are just showstoppers. You could even just put one of them on the lid and be done with it. And I kind of want to demonstrate what the beauty of this palette is when you use it in that way. Also, I personally intend to use this palette more for days at work, or, you know, days when you don't want your makeup to be too aggressive. So then maybe a Terra Moon's flaky shade wouldn't be the best option. And I feel like most of the shades in this palette are a little bit more low-key, pretty as they are. I really like this Holy Fairy Tale palette, by the way. Comes in handy all the time. I guess it would have been more fun to do a two or 3 toned crease. I'm going to see if I can do that after all. So I'm also going to take a little bit of this apricot shade, and I'm going to put that more in the inner part of the crease, just to give it a little bit of dimension. Yeah, that still builds. I'm also taking this orange shade on the inner part of the lower lash line. And then I'm going back with that pink shade to connect it to the outer corner. I'm still using the same brush, and I'm going to continue doing that because I'm going to deepen this up. And I'm a little bit conflicted because there are a couple of deeper tones in here, and I could go for the purple, and that would be really pretty, or this pink one. And if we look at my hands, then I think the pink one makes more sense. It's not that deep, but I don't need it to be. I always used to do the most dramatic looks with the darkest colors in my outer corner, but I've grown an appreciation of slightly lighter, even pastel looks. You know, I am quite fair, so it suits me a little bit better. That's actually a really fun shade. I'm just cleaning off the brush on my hand a little bit, and I'm going back into that original lighter pink. Make sure everything is well blended. I like this. So now I think we should make a switch to the other palette. But the only thing I'm wondering if, although these are all very light shades, is there actually one that could be an inner corner for this look? I do have my doubts about that, but maybe this one. Otherwise, I'll use a nice yellow from the other palette. You know what? I'm just going to go in. So this is soft coral. I'm going to take some with my finger. Wow, that is a stunning shade. I know I've heard some complaints from people saying that these shades aren't vibrant enough or sparkly enough. But honestly, they're so pretty. I get it. They're not all this type of flaky formula. But I think there's an occasion for every shade in this palette. And the shifts are so pretty. I find that a lot of multichromes are really dark. And I personally like my shimmers to be very light. I went a little bit higher than I wanted to. Now I have to commit and do it on the other side as well. I'm going to do something on my inner corner. I am going to take Paradoxical, which shifts from a lime to a pink. So I think it should be a fun addition. Usually I would just let one of these shades be the star of the show. Maybe add a second one to my lower lash line. But this is such a pretty shade. I love that lime green base that it has. That's cute. And because there's a lot of orangey tones in this look, I'm going to take Long Snout, which appears to be orange to a gold. I'm going to take a little bit of that and put it right over here on the inner part of the lower lash line. Yes. I think that's going to be it. Maybe I'll go back into the Holy Fairy Tale palette and take a little bit more of that deeper pink. Just to make sure that there's enough contrast. Yes, that's perfect. Alright, I'm going to see if I can find a couple of nice eyeliners to go with this look, finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and tell you what I used. I'm back. I'm very hot. It's pretty hot here in the Netherlands and we don't really have AC or anything like that. So if you see tiny little dripples on my face, please ignore them. Anyway, I'm really happy with how this look came out. I'll come a little bit closer. Don't look. But I love the eye look. I decided to do a purple liner with pencil. Lime eyeliner in my lower waterline. Just for a little pop. And also because the inner corner does have a lime shift in it. Then I did my brows, which are falling down now that they're more sweaty. So that's good to know. I'm wearing this blush from the Orgasm on the Beach palette by NARS. I'm wearing a beautiful highlighter by Unearthly Cosmetics. This is in the shade Mirage. And it is actually a multichrome highlighter. But it's beautifully sparkly, so I love it. I'm wearing my Chanel bronzer from last summer. I'm actually in the process of testing out this 4-in-1 Perfector, the matte one from Maybelline. So far I don't feel like it does much. And then I'm wearing my Le Beige skin tint on top. And this powder from Revolution X Fortnite, the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer. Oh yes, and on my lips I'm wearing... Where did it go? This gloss from Glamlight X Barbie. So that's everything that's on my face. I really like this look. The lashes are from Makeup Revolution, by the way. They're these ones from Beetlejuice. That's going to be it for today. I hope tomorrow's look will be pretty as well. And see you tomorrow. Hi and welcome to look number 2. Very hot today. So I hope I'm not melting in front of you, but we're going to see. So I kind of want to do a green look today. Featuring mainly these two colors. Maybe a little bit of Paradoxical, although we did use that yesterday. So maybe a little bit of Courtship then. You know, we're going to go in that direction. And to pair with these colors, I'm going to use my Michaela Part 2 collection, which has beautiful minty green shades, which I think are going to be really pretty with this look. Or hear me out. Should this be the old shimmer look? Let's see what else we have. Because I feel like I did a pinky orange look. There's definitely either a blue or a green look in here, and then there's a distinct purple look in here. I wanted to do greens today, and I kind of feel like those more textured purple shades could use a matte. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the old shimmer one today. I'm sorry, Michaela. So I think this is going to be a super duper easy one. I'm going to start with Narrow Bellied, which is just the most beautiful green. I swatched this palette yesterday for my shorts, and you'll have seen it in this video as well. I was just amazed by this shade. So I'm going to put that basically all over the lid. You know, I'm also going out tonight, so I like my makeup to not be the most dramatic when I'm going somewhere. But just look at that. I'm just blending it out with the same finger, and the edges are a little bit more yellow, which actually creates a beautiful one and done shade all on its own. I did warn you that these looks were going to be pretty easy. I mean, this is such a pretty shade. So now I'm taking a tiny shader brush. I'm going to put something along the lower lash line. I think it's going to be paradoxical. I just want to see how this looks in combination with other shades. Because this is quite the interesting shade. It actually, you know what, it fits its name. It doesn't really look very green at all, but it gives a nice contrast, I guess. Maybe I should have used the blue instead. I could still do that, but I think this is more interesting. You know what, I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going into False Eye, which is just the most beautiful light minty shade. I'm going to put this in the inner corner. I don't see a lot of shift in this one, but it's just beautiful on its own. All right, I really like that. And before I'm melting right in front of your face, I'm going to finish up this makeup look. I'm going to keep it pretty light, I think. And then I'll show you the finished look. So I'm back. I'm almost done with my makeup, but I specifically did not do my brows. Also, I'm not wearing any highlighter because, well, I'm wearing the new Dior Cherry blush, which it's honestly so pretty, and I feel like it's giving me quite the glow, which I wasn't expecting. And since I am going away tonight, I'm going to see if maybe I find this enough. If you're curious about the application process, there should be a short life at this point. Anyway, what I used on my face. So let me go closer to my eyes. I used the same pencil as yesterday for my lower waterline, this one, and then I used the dark green metallic one from Chanel on the top lashes. I tried a new trick. I trimmed the inner part of my lashes because these lashes were driving me crazy because they kept going up in the inner corners, and also I thought it looked more natural this way. So I thought I'd give it a try with my not so expensive lashes, which are the Beetlejuice X Makeup Revolution ones. And for my base, I'm wearing the 4-in-1 Perfector from Maybelline together with the Givenchy concealer, the new one, all over my face. I have the Peely Light Banana powder from Makeup Revolution X Fortnite. I have my Chanel bronzer, the cherry blush that I just mentioned. And then on my lips, I have this beautiful lip gloss from Glamlight, which it matches the blush so perfectly. So I think that's all you missed. I hope you enjoyed this look. I think it's really pretty. Yeah, let me know what you think, and let's hop into the third and final look. Hi, and welcome to look number 3. We're going to do a fun summery makeup look again, and I'm thinking I kind of want to make this shade the center stage for today. So I realized that these are actually more turquoise and these are more purple. Maybe we can do a combination of the blues, the turquoises, and the purples, something like that. I am actually going to include some mattes today. I already primed my eyes using the Glamlight eyeshadow base. So I'm going into my Michaela Part 2 palette, and I'm mainly going to use this shade, and then something to deepen it up. So I have this fluffy shader brush, and I'm first going into the shade Mama Wong, which I'm going to put more in the inner part of my crease. So I'm just wiping off that brush, like I always do. And I'm going into No Harsh Lines, which is the baby blue shade. And I'm putting this in the outer part, slightly above my crease actually. Also putting this more in the outer corner, connecting to the lower lash line. I like that. You know, it's going to be a little bit less once I wipe off the fallout, but I'm taking this other more dense blending brush, and I'm going into the shade Wicked Awesome, which is the dark blue. I'm just putting a little bit of that in the absolute outer corner. And there was a little bit of purple left on this brush, but that's fine. I don't mind the color being a little bit more purple. I'm taking it also slightly through the crease, and this is sort of the result that I want. I always like to make an outer corner V also around the lower lash line with my deepest shade. Otherwise it feels a little bit disconnected. Now I'm going back with the previous brush, and I'm just going over all the edges. I like that. I always do this type of look with this palette, but I do always like it. Now I'm going to take a small flat shader brush, because I'm going to add quite a bit of shades on my lid and on my lower lash line, and there needs to be place for all of them. So I'm going to start, you know, this is tricky. They're all so pretty. I think most people did Giraffe because it was so foiled. I kind of want to see what Low Crown has to offer, which is this true lavender shade. So I'm picking some up on this brush, and I'm adding that to the inner part of my lid. And I'm using this brush to make sure that I don't go too high, because I want the mattes to stay visible in this look. And I'm taking it on a diagonal on purpose. I like this shade. There's actually a little bit of pink in there, or peach. And next I'm going into this one, Jayakar. And that's going to be the center stage for center shade for my lid. Look how beautiful that layers on top of that deep blue. And I'm blending it into that deeper matte. And I'm going to build it up a little bit more right here on the center. I love that. And now to finish it up, I am going into Courtship, which is a beautiful teal to gold to green, maybe a little bit to purple. And I'm going to put this shade on the lower lash line. That's beautiful. Now I would love to use something else on my inner corner, but although this is an all pastel palette, I'm actually so fair that there's only one shade in here that would work as an inner corner for me, which is False Eye. But I actually think that would be a really pretty fit for this look. So we're just going to use that one. There's just something really special about this shade. It's light, not only in color but also in texture. But there's this beautiful tiny shimmer in there. It's really pretty. So that's going to be it for the eyeshadows. I'm going to add the rest of my makeup, and I hope I remember to blend out the edges after I apply my foundation. Then I'll show you the final look. I'm back. This is my finished look for today. It turned out a little bit more pinky than my intention was, but I decided to finish up the eyes using this baby blue eyeliner in my waterline and this dark blue eyeliner from Catrice. I used my Essence Lash Like a Boss mascara, the same lashes as yesterday, I used this duo from Wet n Wild in my brows, but then I went over it with the Too Faced brow gel. What else? What else? I used my Makeup Revolution lip pencil in the shade Brunch together with this Wet n Wild Rose Perfecting Comforting Balm in the shade Biscotti Mommy, which is one of my favorites. For foundation, I'm trying something new. I'm experimenting with summer makeup, and I use this Danessa Myricks balm in the shade number 2 as a base, sort of as a foundation primer 2-in-1. But then I did add quite a bit of the Chanel concealer on top in the center of my face, and I decided that I did want to set it, so I used the Moira powder. I used a lot today. I used the Hoola bronzer from this palette. I used the original Dior Rosy Glow blush in the shade Pink because I'm doing comparisons between the 3 shades that I have. And finally, I used a little bit of the Noctilucent palette, and I used this beautiful purple shade just on the tops of my cheeks and a little bit down my nose. So that's all you missed. I think this eye look turned out really pretty, even though the look as a whole is a little bit more dramatic than what I was going for. I love the way it shifts from more green yellow to yellow purple to blue purple, and then that little bit of turquoise slash, what is it, also purple on the lower lash line. I think it's really pretty. It doesn't really match my necklace and my outfit, so maybe I'll change that. I'm going to look for another necklace. Anyway, yeah, now that I've done 3 looks, I can honestly say I'm falling head over heels in love with this palette. I already was, but now even more. I love doing multiple looks on multiple days. It really helps me to get to know a palette better. So this is it again. Yeah, I thought all the shades had a surprise in them. And even when I thought they were the less shiny, less textured ones, they all had the nice sparkle and a very nice shift. Usually the ones with less texture had a more intense shift. I love the pastels because, well, I love wearing pastels and, well, I think they combine really pretty with deeper mattes as well if I want to do a more intense look. So for me, this is a perfect all-in-one shimmer palette. The only thing it would be missing is maybe another inner corner shade, maybe a light pink, more light yellow, something like that, but I can add that with this one, for instance. So that's really not an issue. I think this is a beautiful palette. If you're looking for 15 truly intense Terra Moons level shifty textured shades, it's not going to give only that. But it's a nice variety of all types of different shimmer shades, and I've seen people who in first instance didn't give the most positive review. I've seen them use it all the time and coming back to it and saying that they were wrong and it is a beautiful palette. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know how it will work for you. It is an expensive palette. I think it's beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed these 3 looks, and yeah, subscribe if you like them. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.